Welcome to the Turner Sports Complex on the campus of University of Georgia. It is Atlanta United 2 taking on Chicago Fire 2 and some Eastern Conference action. Thank you so much for joining me. James Hadnot here with you. This matchup is one in which Chicago is trying to avenge a 3-0 loss to Atlanta from earlier in the season. And here's the starting 11 for Coach Jose Silva, suiting out a 3-4-3. And for Coach Silva, they make 6 changes from their last match 14 days ago, a 2-1 loss at the hands of Philadelphia. Players that are holdovers from that loss, Arif Kovac, he's starting and he is scoring. He had 5 goals versus Huntsville and also 1 goal versus Philadelphia in the loss. Cameron Dunbar, another player to watch in this 11. He scored versus Chicago in the last meeting. Now for Coach Mike Makovich, he sends out a 4-2-3-1, and they make 4 changes themselves. Milan Napo and Mateo Clark will be in the midfield, and Hugo Berg and Emiliano Chavez come on, playing in the back line today for Chicago. And this is a match in which both sides have had a long time off. Chicago's last match was 14 days ago versus Huntsville, as they dismantled the boys in blue at home 4-0. And then talking with the coaching staff prior to this match, they mentioned how versus Huntsville, it was probably their best overall showing this year. They played very controlled and they were connected in all facets of the game. They controlled the tempo of the match both in attack and defending. And that's what they worked on over the course of the last 2 weeks, trying to continue to dominate possession and making sure that in matches they can impose their will on the opponent and not have the will of their opponent imposed on them. Talking with Coach Saiz, assistant for this Chicago side, he said that the first 15 minutes or so of this match are going to be very key. They don't want to make mistakes. This is always a young squad for Chicago, so they don't want to make mistakes and get behind the 8 ball. And for Atlanta, after taking some time off themselves to rest and recuperate, they want to continue to play at a high level. They are winners of 4 of their last 2 of their last 3 outside of their loss to Philadelphia. Promise Adebayo Ige is our referee. Chicago in the white with teal blue, and Atlanta in their patented 5 stripes. There was the opening whistle. We will have to do the opening kickoff once more. Dunbar back to Donaldson, and we begin from the Turner Sports Complex. A lot of things happening this weekend here at UGA. They are playing Super Regional Baseball. They took down Mississippi State today after being down by 7 runs. We are a week away from matches, just about an hour and a half away at the Benz at Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the World Cup. So this is just a very fun weekend. Obviously the United States falling earlier today to Germany, but a good showing. Chris Brady, the goalkeeper for Chicago, a part of the final roster for the men's national team. He got in versus Senegal in the penultimate match before the start of the World Cup for the United States. In this match between Atlanta and Chicago, 2 teams trying to cement themselves in a stacked Eastern Conference. It's kept in by Amir Henry, but Chicago will have possession. Right now, Chicago sitting on 16 points through 11 matches, and Atlanta sitting on 19 points. So it's an opportunity for Chicago to move up to potentially 10th and be knocking on the door of a playoff spot as we near the middle part of the season. And for Atlanta, they could move as high as 4th. Above them right now, Columbus Crew, as well as Crown Legacy. Atlanta in possession right now. This is Patrick Weah. Along towards Henry, but nowhere for him to go as Hugo Berg cuts him off. Throw-in coming for Chicago. There was a collision back near midfield. Will be a foul on Atlanta. And a free kick coming for Chicago. Chicago looking for their first road win of the season. Just missing out on the collision there as we look back on it. But no wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws for Chicago away from SeatGeek Stadium. And on the flip side for Atlanta, they're just happy to be home. They played 8 of their first 11 matches away. But we'll enjoy some time here in the Peach State as they will play 10 of their next 13 at home. In this key part of the season, Atlanta looking to make the playoffs for the first time as members of MLS Next Pro. Chicago last season making the playoffs. They were the highest scoring team in the Eastern Conference. Goals haven't come in bunches like they did last year. Wouldn't know it by the way that they played versus Huntsville. As Trip Fleming boots this forward. Henry, Chica, goalkeeper Donaldson. As Atlanta will start the forward down the left side. This is DeBlante. He's shoved down. Moises DeBlante, who's played in this league with Orlando City B. Played last year with FC Cincinnati 2. 2 years rather. DeBlante was here with the Five Stripes last season as they made the push. We're moments away from potentially making the playoffs. Coach Silva talking to me earlier in this year about how it kept him up at night, how close they were. Only needed 1 more point. Just could not get the job done. And that's been something that has lit a fire under them throughout this season. Now Atlanta has a corner inside of 7 minutes. Ball comes in tight. Now the shot, wide of the mark. Talking with Coach Mario Bardacina Saez of Chicago, he said that this season is different for this Fire squad. simply because of the players that have moved on to the first team. David Pareba, one to think about, Golden Boot winner in 2024. Chicago had the Golden Boot winner in 2025 as well. So lose a lot of goal scoring. When you have an infusion of youth, it's going to take a little time. Believes that they are about to turn the corner. It's very tough when you lose the likes of Jason Shukaluk and David Pareba to the first team. But that's the name of the game in this second team space. Have to develop the next talented player. This is Kovac for Atlanta. And Nemo Jr. takes this fluttering ball out of the air. Jason Nemo Jr. had a pretty good showing versus Huntsville. It's a poor ball there, giving up to Dunbar. Forward, Kovac. Offside. The match versus Huntsville for Nemo Jr. After giving up a penalty, he saved the penalty shot. And Chicago went down and scored a third goal. Coach Baracina Saez saying of Nemo Jr. that he showed a lot of maturity. Even as a teenager, he made the mistake, but made up for it. Foul there on Amir Henry. And Chicago's game plan today was to make it through the first quarter of an hour. They want to play long because a mistake in their attacking half, much less dangerous than an attack given up in their defensive half. Now they must defend. This is Weah. The shot is blocked away. There's a good moment there defensively for Chicago. When the ball was given up, they organized and ensured that Weah did not have a clean strike on goal. Weah physically dominant. Amir Henry. Uses his body well. And that's going to be a foul and a free kick. So that is the advantage that Atlanta has over Chicago. The profile of their players in most positions are going to be more advantageous than those of Chicago in most positions. So they can use their frames against this younger squad of the Fire. And Amir Henry creating a free kick opportunity. Moses Tablante prepares to take the free kick. We move it to the 11th minute. Atlanta, another set piece, an opportunity to take the lead early on in this match. Tablante puts this into the area, headed high and out, and it will be a corner for Atlanta. So Cameron Dunbar, the former LA Galaxy Academy player, made multiple appearances with the first team, also played for Minnesota United. Back in MLS after playing in the second tier. And trying to take advantage of his opportunity to potentially break into the first team here in Atlanta. Dunbar's corner, floated in, flicked on, and wide of the mark. Good service there from Dunbar. We talk about the physically imposing bodies of Atlanta. That was Matthew Sinanu, who was up early for it. Sinanu coming over from Colorado, the Western Conference champions from last year. Represented the West in MLS Next Pro Cup. Here's a giveaway again by Nemo Jr. We centers this. Ball returns to him. Nemo Jr. can't get to it, and Cameron Dunbar can't place it in an open net. But once again, playing with fire, no pun intended, for Chicago. Emiliano Chavez making that just difficult enough for Cameron Dunbar. This portion of the match is sponsored by Emory Healthcare. 13th minute of action. Moises Tablante finds Cameron Dunbar, sends the ball into the area. It's headed away. There's the foul. And Sinanu has to be careful there. And Promise Adebayo Ige going to have the conversation with him. It's a quick conversation. No more kicking the ball after the whistle is blown, or you will be booked. Kovac digs this out. Connects with Cameron Dunbar. Dunbar just tiptoes out of play. Throw-in coming for Chicago. These are two very good defensive teams. Both have given up just 15 goals on the season. That's good enough for third in the Eastern Conference. Only Philadelphia, who's allowed 14, and New England Revolution, who've allowed 10, have allowed less goals, which means the first goal has high importance in this match. Kovac is fouled. So now Henry. Chica trying to make the big switch. Now the ball taken away again for Atlanta. Dunbar is tripped up. Advantage is played. Blante works back. Sinanu, Cisse can't pick the lock there. And Chicago will look to play in transition. This ball drops kindly for the Fire. And excellent defending working back there, and a big foul. Yes. Tidiane Diawara missed the foul. Will be a throw-in for Atlanta, much to the chagrin of the Chicago bench. As mentioned, still looking for their first win on the road this year. But this young group is starting to blossom in front of our eyes. And we'll see now that we have played 16 minutes. If Chicago starts to be more aggressive, playing out of the back. If they're more aggressive when Atlanta is trying to build from the back. now that they have not succumbed to an early goal. This is Henry. Ball dribbles into the area, and it's flung away. Jardines can't win possession. A little touch away by Mateo Clark, but now the ball's given away to Kovac. Arif Kovac has his shot blocked away. Atlanta still in possession, looking for the early goal. Out swinging ball. It's Weah. He's up for it, but can't steer it on frame. And this is what Coach Bartosina Saez was most worried about. These oncoming runners, these risers for Atlanta, the likes of Kovac and Weah. Very good in the air and big targets. So we see Chicago a little more comfortable playing out of the back. And they have beaten the pressure. So now they can express themselves a bit. Big collision outside of the area. Play on is a decision from Promise Adebayo. Both these sides had long layoffs. Coach Saez talking with him about what the team was able to do. They really wanted to do a self-scout. What did they do well versus Huntsville? Where do they need to get better? Beautiful ball behind here. This is Dean Bolts. Bolts goes down. Corner coming. They work on being more clinical defensively. They wanted to make sure that they controlled the match. So having long passages of play in the attack, dictating the tempo of the match. Right now, their first corner of the day. Ball zipped in. Not a bad ball in the end. Nagel back out wide. And it will be a goal kick. This portion of the match is sponsored by Gallagher. 21st minute. No score between Atlanta and Chicago. For this Fire squad, they have done their job early, have not conceded as they did in the first meeting. Arif Kovac scoring the first goal inside of 10 minutes. And Atlanta going on to win at SeatGeek Stadium. Mateo Clark wins possession from Daniel Chica. And in this wrestling match, it's Clark that is fouled. So a free kick for Chicago. For Atlanta, defensively, they have created a couple of chances. Arif Kovac and Cameron Dunbar both have taken shots, as well as Patrick Weah had the header that he couldn't steer on frame. So Atlanta could have found a goal inside of the first 20 minutes, but the ball did not bounce their way. And for Chicago, they have not conceded. They want to build on that as this first half wears on. This is Fleming trying to thread the needle. Ball's taken away. Mateo Clark ready to attack. Neek. Pineda. Clark. Return ball to Clark. Pineda surveys. Now the center back, Hugo Berg. Donaldson will win the race and scoop for Atlanta. Another turnover. Good defending in the end to stop the initial break. Now Atlanta will try to take advantage. Nemo Jr., a diving header. That gets the job done. Excellent dribbling now by Fleming. And this is Mateo Clark. Excellent idea. Connects down the channel. As you look forward, Tidion Diawara. Diawara had the 4th goal from the spot in the last match that Chicago played versus Huntsville. Chicago is a team that can beat anybody. They have wins in 2 of their last 3 matches, including a win over Crown Legacy, 3-2. This is Dunbar driving this in. So Nemo Jr. gets a paw to it. No complete clearance. This ball is zipped in. Hugo Berg will head it away. Match starting to open up. Daniel Chica takes over in possession for Atlanta. Leah. Henry. Cisse. Here it is again. Dunbar was driving in and just forced Nemo Jr. to make a save. Leah cannot work his way around Damian Neek. This portion of the match is brought to you by Renegade Lemonade. Wonderful ball over the top. Donaldson makes a stupendous save. And there's a foul on Emiliano Chavez. A glorious opportunity for Chicago as Cisse could not defend it completely. Milan Napo could not put it around James Donaldson. Another good defensive effort here from Chicago. They have looked crisp today, and that's a foul. And a free kick coming for the Fire. Coach Silva said that this match was going to be different. Did not expect to come out and put it on Chicago as they did on the road. He did joke. He said if you could score within the first minute, obviously that's what everybody wants, to be able to play from in front. But knew that that might not be the case today with the way that Chicago has played and also the tenacity that they were going to come in with. This is Weah gliding. Can't go by Hugo Berg. Coach Silva knew this match was going to be different. He was going to take more from Atlanta. Excellent movement here from Chicago, and this is Neek. Early ball through, and Cisse just gets a piece of it. Now Chica clears it out for a throw. Patrick Weah is down. Needing some extra time to get back to his feet. Fleming, ball central, and that opens everything up. Diawara won't beat Cisse. Sananu, rather. '30th minute. Atlanta United 2 and Chicago Fire 2 battling in the Eastern Conference. Atlanta looking for its third win at home in 4 matches, and Chicago looking for its first win on the road as they come in 0-3-2. Jardines goes back to Sananu and around to Cisse. Atlanta being patient now in possession. Daniel Chica. He's up with Henry. Throw in now for Atlanta. Chica quickly into Weah, using that big frame. Weah shot off of Arif Kovac. That ball could have gone anywhere. Chicago fortunate that it didn't ricochet into the back of the net. Dunbar. Kovac. He was offside. There's that connectivity that Chicago has had the last 2 matches. When everybody, especially in that back line, is on a string, that is when they're at their best. And Coach Marcina Saez saying that all that it was going to take was time. All of these players have the talent, but they just have to gain the chemistry. Taylor Clark coming over from Vancouver, where his dad was the second-team head coach. Now Berg. Chavez, the goalkeeper, Nemo Jr. Immense pressure being put on by Atlanta now, and that'll be a foul to relieve some of that pressure being put on by the 5 Stripes. Both Coach Silva and Coach Saez are of Spanish descent, and an issue here. Kovac scored his first goal versus Chicago like that last match between Atlanta and the Fire. doesn't turn immediately into a goal. Atlanta, but they have possession now. Pushing the point on Coach Saez and Coach Silva, both being of Spanish descent. Coach Silva is going to have the opportunity to see Spain play Cabo Verde as Atlanta will host those squads on June 15th as the World Cup gets started just a couple of days from today on June 11th. The United States playing Paraguay on June 12th, this upcoming Friday. So mark your calendars. The World Cup is finally here. And it should be a very fun one. Despite falling today, the men's national team looked good versus Germany, especially in the first half. After going down by a goal, equalized thanks to Anthony Robinson's shot heard around the world. If you haven't seen it, go take a look. It is worth your time. Couldn't find a second goal in the first half and then conceded in the second half to fall 2-1. Now Atlanta is looking for their first goal here in the first half. Still no score between Atlanta United and Chicago. Cameron Dunbar preparing to take this free kick here in the 34th minute. Dunbar delivers, nodded away. First initial touch is around Jardines, and now Chicago is off and running. Napo ushers it along. Diawara running out of real estate. We'll work back to Chavez. Trip Fleming. Now Damian Neek. The minimum possession for Chicago in this first half. They've done a job up to this point. Now looking for the breakthrough. There's a foul, however, on Diawara. So Atlanta has had a couple of good spells of possession. Dunbar's had a shot. Arif Kovac has had a shot. Patrick Weah had a header that was offline. So they have had their opportunities in this first half. Weah fast enough to find this. Showing off his skills against Berg. Can't connect with Arif Kovac in the middle. Henry will keep it for Atlanta, and then he's dispossessed. We have the target again on the throw-in. He's watched by two. Another throw-in coming for Atlanta as we move into the 37th minute. Haven't seen a long throw today from Atlanta. This ball zipped into Patrick Weah. Henry plays in a cross. It's controlled. Sent away. Diawara giving chase, but Sinanu will go back to his goalkeeper. Tablante, early ball towards Kovac is cut out. Chicago in possession. Taken away now. This is Tablante. He's brought down from behind. And a free kick for Atlanta. And you see Diawara going through the back of Tablante. Tablante is back up. Used to be a rival of this Atlanta side when he was with Orlando City Beat. A lot of battles between Atlanta and Orlando over the past couple of seasons. Now he's been a fixture with Atlanta United. He earns that free kick for the Five Stripes. Cameron Dunbar to do the honors. Chance to put this right in between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. Somebody to run onto it. Decides against it. Tablante dumps it in. Back post. And then the offside flag will come up. It was Chica who played it across the face of goal. And this was pretty smooth from Atlanta. Perfectly placed. As Chica played it back across the face, Hugo Berg was on it to head it out. But offside was the decision in the end. Berg would not have known that, so it was good defending from him. Weah using his frame. Dunbar finds himself on it. Slips it forward. And a great slide. Corner now for Atlanta. '40th minute. I have an expectation for maybe 1 or 2 minutes of added time in this first half. It's gone by pretty quickly and pretty smoothly. Not a lot of stoppages. Dunbar sends in this ball. It's headed on and high for a goal kick. And for those at home wondering, no, we do not believe in the announcer's jinx in this announcer's booth. We just have to state the facts. That the match has gone on without a lot of stoppages. This is Berg. Lifts this ball into the air, controlled well by Diawara. Now Clark. And Sinanu. Wonderfully done defensively as Chicago was trying to organize in the attack. Emiliano Chavez quickly into Hugo Berg. Now Jason Nemo Jr., goalkeeper, teenager. Being called upon in big moments, match in and match out. Smooth ball through. Bolts could not get his feet together. Atlanta will try the left side now. Tablante is fouled. He has all the tricks. Does more as Tablante. Chica. Henry. Back to Daniel Chica. Played last year with Carolina Court. Shared with you that Sinanu played with Colorado, and Mohamed Cisse on the ball now. He played with North Texas SC. Big switch from Chica. A little header from Tablante into Dunbar. Kovac. Nice little turn. Arif Kovac over the target. This is what happens for Atlanta they can make something out of nothing, especially when you have a player of Kovac's character and quality. Despite giving up more shots to Atlanta, Chicago has been in this match. They have not been outplayed. Scoreline is about what it should be. And that means that in the second half, we'll see if either side could break through. Big tackle there. And a free kick coming. Has been on the wrong end of a couple of these big challenges. He is trying to walk it off. We saw on the last free kick, it was Dunbar who found Tablante, and he is the one who lofted the ball into the area. Dunbar after the conversation between Promise Adebayo Igate and a couple of players at the top of the 18. Dunbar into the area, nodded away by Hugo Berg. It's just struck by Jardines. Another header into the box. Tablante will track it down. Turns it over. This will stay in play. Tablante takes it very well. But then his cross is out of play. The early word is 1 minute of added time. And so Chicago's Jason Nemo Jr. going to take his time before putting this ball back into play. Chicago continues to search for points away from home. Picked up points in just 2 matches out of 5 on the road coming into today. And Diawara has to be careful. He won't get out of this first half without picking up a booking. Yellow card for him, the first player to be booked in this match. The fourth official announcing a minimum of 1 minute of added time. It's just persistent infringement for Diawara as he threw down Matthew Sinat. So Chica switches to point of attack. Tablante back to Mohamed Cisse and Matthew Sinanu. Chica once more. A big ball. Dunbar latches onto this. Jardines brings Tablante into the action. Tablante driving his cross. He's out off of Tablante. So our minimum of 1 minute has elapsed as we near 2 minutes. And once this ball is put into play, have an expectation that that will be the end of the half. There is the halftime whistle. No score between Atlanta United 2 and Chicago Fire 2. Coming up in our halftime show, we go from coast to coast to profile a pair of players whose highlights in our upcoming schedule after this timeout.
They say the world's game is played everywhere. This is how we play it here. Every weekend across North America. From Vancouver's mountain rain to the shores of Florida. From the city of angels to the heartland. The world's brightest stars light up our fields.
Let's go.
And our fans bring the world to life. In every language, in every city. One game, one roar. Sold out nights under lights. New soccer citadels rising from coast to coast. Every chant, every goal, another brick in a growing relief. Now, the world's biggest stage comes to our home. And when they arrive, they'll find the game's heartbeat has been here all along.
Welcome back to Turner Sports Complex. No score between Atlanta and Chicago. Now let's head to the Tar Heel State and meet one of the cogs in the Carolina Core Club, Anthony Sumo Jr. And later, we'll go back to earlier this season when we met with LAFC midfielder Brian Moyato.
I just love to score goals. I just love to make the fans happy. I just love to see other people smile.
Sumo Jr. slaloming through, and that's just staggering from Carolina Core.
Sumo Jr. trying to head it along. Sumo Jr. tucks it in. And it's headed down and past Juan Rojas. Anthony Sumo Jr., the breakthrough.
Growing up in Liberia, I grew up just watching people play at a high level. Like my dad played for the Liberian national team. All his brothers, they all play for the Liberian national team. All my uncles, everybody that I grew up around, George Weah, they all play at a very, very high level, and my eyes was open to it at such a young age. And just talking about it makes me passionate because football was the only thing they had, and it helped change their life, and it helped change my life. So they all just helped push me.
Growing up around the game gave Anthony an early love for it. But there was one person he always aspired to be like.
When you're very young, you just play for fun. You just have fun. Every time you see a ball, it's like it releases all your troubles, all your problems, and you're just playing and just enjoying yourself and having fun. So I never really pay attention to being a professional soccer player, but I knew I always wanted to be like my dad. And I always wanted to be like him personality-wise, and how he raised me, how he grew up, the amount of integrity he had, and how he respected other people. And those are the things that I wanted to be like first before I even thought about being anything else.
When Anthony moved to the United States with his mom and sisters, life changed quickly.
Migrating from Liberia to the United States, me and my mom and two little sisters, it was very interesting at first because we never really thought about moving to a different country and changing our life, leaving our families behind and just leaving a lot of things. So just migrating over here and coming to the US, we faced a lot of adversity, and my mom, she had to go through the mud to work every day, 2 or 3 jobs just for us to have the opportunity that we have today. I give thanks and glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because without him, I wouldn't be in the situation that I'm in today, because I think he gave me the strength and the courage to keep driving, to keep striving every day, because life is not as easy as you think it is.
No matter where he was, the game always felt the same to Anthony. It was the place where he felt most like himself.
My dad always tells me that. He always tells me you was born to be a professional football player, or you was born to be a football player. No matter where you play at, football is still the same. Whether you play in mud, you play on sand, it's still the same. It never changed. So for me, whenever I step into any environment, whenever I step into anywhere, I just pray to God for him to shine his light through me so I can be able to do what I love.
We're not able to get it through, and a quick counter for Sumo. Gets a shot and scores! Sumo strikes back for Carolina!
Carolina core gave Anthony an opportunity. That trust is something he carries with him every time he plays.
Carolina has changed my life, and they were the first club to give me the opportunity to achieve my dreams, and I'm just grateful and thankful. That's why every time I step onto the field, I want to give everything that I can for this club and for the fans and everybody else.
My name is Brian Mollado. I play for LAFC 2, and my position is center defensive mid.
For Brian Mollado, wearing the black and gold has been more than a dream. Growing up in Los Angeles, Brian found more than just a club. He found a home.
It means a lot. Growing up here in LA, this is a club that gave me a lot of opportunities, which I'm really grateful for. Not only me, but my family. We're really grateful for this club, and it means a lot to me. You know, just wearing this badge every day, coming into the facilities every day, it just gives you that energy to work hard and just keep on progressing every day.
From the academy to the professional stage, Brian has grown with LAFC, on the field and off of it.
This club changes you a lot. It matures you at a young age for sure. I had a big injury 2 years ago, so I feel like that injury for sure made me more mature outside of the field. And also just the staff here for sure they push you outside of the field to be your better self.
That growth soon turned into recognition. Brian was named to the inaugural MLS Next All-Star Game in 2022.
You play with all the best from MLS Next, so it was a fun game. I had a lot of fun. It just gives you that encouragement to keep on pushing, and you know, I told myself, you're doing great, but the job is not done, so just keep on pushing.
And in 2023, Mollado achieved a milestone that meant everything, his professional debut.
It meant a lot, not only for me, but for my family. We were very grateful for that opportunity that LAFC gave me. And that only meant one step closer, which was getting to the first team level. So it just motivates you to keep on working. It was a big accomplishment.
As a player, Brian prides himself on keeping things simple, dictating tempo, and doing the work that often goes unnoticed.
The way I would describe my game is, it's pretty simple. I keep it simple. I don't like to be too flashy. You know, 1-2 touches. I give some, tempo to the game. If we gotta play quick, then we'll play quick. If we gotta keep it calm, then we'll play calm.
What I like about Brian is that he's someone that has dealt with adversity. He's been through the injury process and has worked himself back to really good rhythm. He has a vision and really links us up in the midfield position to progress the ball in our possession progression. He's a hard worker and very good professional.
Mollado's journey has also included the honor of representing the U.S. on the international stage.
It was amazing, man. Those are good memories, memories that you never, take for granted. It was great opportunities. It gives you exposure not only from here, from LA, but from all over the world. And it meant a lot for me, just putting that badge on for the first time, it just gives you that energy to, you know, represent your country at the top level and give it your all every game, you know. I feel like just the intensity of these training camps is just so high. Everything is just so intense that you're always at your 100%. Bringing that into this environment back not only helps me, but also helps my teammates.
Through it all, Brian remains grounded, humble, hardworking, and focused on enjoying every step.
Welcome back to Kennesaw, Georgia. Turner Sports Complex is the place to be this afternoon as Atlanta and Chicago battling right now, 0-0. This is the score. We take a look at some other scores from around the league. St. Louis City 2 in front of North Texas 2-0 last Saturday. And in the Cascadia rivalry, a 1-0 victory for Portland over Tacoma. Portland got another victory versus Vancouver already this weekend as they continue to shoot for the top of the Western Conference. Orlando City beat, got the win 5-2 over Chattanooga. The upcoming schedule on tomorrow, Orlando City beat taking on Carolina Core, San Jose and Real Monarchs, and Austin, team of the month in the Western Conference after they've moved up the top 3 in the Western Conference. They'll take on LAFC 2. And then in the East on Monday, you can look out for Columbus Crew 2 and CT United. And then in the West, Sporting Kansas City and Minnesota United FC 2. Now it's time for our halftime highlights. No score between Chicago and Atlanta, but it was Atlanta that had a couple of opportunities in the first half. Cameron Dunbar sent this in. It was Matthew Sinanu's header that was wide of the mark. A little bit later, as this ball came to Patrick Weah, and it zipped all the way through. Dunbar was there at the back post, but could not steer it past Jason Emo Jr. And a little bit later, another good opportunity here as Nemo Jr. was forced to make a save. Didn't know what was behind him, and so just got an arm to that. And then this gorgeous ball over the top. James Donaldson was only called on once. It was right here as Milan Napote put the ball on frame. And then this was beautifully drawn up to Blante to the back post. Daniel Chica sent it back across the face of goal. He was offside, but just an excellent drawn up play right off of the training ground. And then now Arif Kovac, who is always on the prowl for a goal, put that one over the crossbar. No score between Atlanta and Chicago. Second half is up next.
fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
Almost ready for second half action between Chicago Fire 2 and Atlanta United 2. James Hadnot here with you here in Athens, Georgia. This matchup between two teams in the Eastern Conference. The Fire, 16 points through 11 matches. Atlanta, 19 points themselves through 11 matches played. And this is the start of a homestand for Atlanta United. They'll be happy to be home. 8 of their first 11 matches were away. They've had just 2 matches here at home this season. Check that, 3 matches here at home this season. They lost their last home match to Philadelphia. Won their first 2 very early in the campaign. Now will enjoy 10 of their next 13 here at home. For Chicago, they are looking for their first road win of the season. No wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws coming into today, and they're trying to make amends for their last match with Atlanta, which they lost 3-0 at home back a couple of months ago.
Substitution for Atlanta United, entering 67 Enzo Dovio and number 40 Santiago Pita.
A couple of substitutions for Atlanta. Enzo Davlo will come on for Patrick Weah. And Santiago Pita comes on for Amir Henry. We'll see how that switches things up front for Atlanta in the first half. It was Kovac who was playing as a number 9, and Weah who was playing off his right shoulder. And Amir Henry who was playing right wing back in this 3-4-3 setup. Promise Adebayo Ige blows his whistle, and the second half begins between Atlanta United and Chicago Fire. Immediately the ball finds Arif Kovac. Had the shot in the first half, but didn't receive a lot of service. And obviously he's at the top of the scouting report for Chicago. Kovac, who has scored his last 2 matches, had 5 goals 2 matches ago versus Huntsville. Scored the lone goal for Atlanta in their last match versus Philadelphia. Kovac the target. The ball will go over his head as Hugo Berg was watching him, and roll to Jason Nemo Jr. No substitutions of note for Chicago. So they will stick with the 11 that started. Didn't say Dean Bolt's name very often in the first half for the Fire. That is because Chicago did not have a lot of possession, so they could not get a lot of service to Bolts. Offside flag comes up. And so that is going to be a key for the Fire in this second half. You go back to the last match they played, they were able to locate the likes of Robert Turdine, Darius Height to score goals. This ball finds Kovac off the mistake. Davlo right at Nemo Jr. And so Jason Nemo Jr. covers that near post very well. The substitute immediately stinging the palms of Jason Nemo Jr. corner. Ball's headed towards goal. Now Dunbar right into Kovac. He's offside. But already we've seen Arif Kovac be in the mix much more than he was in the first half. He was offside. Foul. Chicago is up in arms. They feel like it should be their possession. It is. Atlanta did not realize it. They thought it was their possession, and so good officiating here. I promise Adebayo Ige not to give Chicago a bigger advantage, as there was some discrepancy on whose free kick it was. This ball will be hit with some in swing. Chicago looking for the opening goal. Good ball. Bounces off a couple of heads and then rolls out for a corner. Pretty good service from Damian Neek. And he will trot over to take the corner. 50th minute early on in the second half. And already some pushing and shoving before Neek even gets to the corner flag. So I promise Adebayo Ige will come to administrate that. It is Sinanu, Mateo Clark, and Daniel Chica all receiving some words. Neek pumps this ball into the area, headed back. Donaldson, big save, a second header, also saved. Free still, and Trip Fleming's shot is over the crossbar. So James Donaldson, who was only called upon once in the first half, needed 2 saves here to keep Chicago off the board. That's a fantastic save, and then gets a second piece there. As this ball was just waiting for somebody to strike it, it rolled to Trip Fleming, and he could not keep it on frame. But a warning shot from Chicago for sure. 5 minutes into this second half. Tablante looking for Cameron Dunbar. It's cut out by Emiliano Chavez. But Chicago comes out and almost makes a statement to start this second half. We talked often already about what Coach Patrocina Saez has said about this group, about how they are on the cusp of a couple of victories. They already won in their last match versus Huntsville. They're looking to keep it going and make it back-to-back wins. Did their job in the first half, not conceding early on. Dunbar on the ball here for Atlanta. Cameron Dunbar looking to tuck it in near post. Emo Jr. was there the entire way. Now, Emiliano Chavez needing a moment as Cameron Dunbar found a yard of space to take a shot. Chavez is back up. Coach Silva of Atlanta speaking very highly about Cameron Dunbar as he is taking advantage of his opportunity being back in MLS. As mentioned, I spent time with LA Galaxy as well as with Minnesota. Gorgeous ball. Atlanta has possession still. Hard work there down the left side. The ball's taken away. Chica's header doesn't find a teammate. And now Milan Napo latches onto this for Chicago. That's inside of Tablante. Bolts, fires. His shot is blocked. Atlanta will look to come the other way. Slid forward. Atlanta has another corner.
Corner kick, Atlanta United 2.
So Santiago Pita, the substitute, prepares to take the corner. It's the second half already more open than the first half. These teams were dialed in defensively, as to be expected. Two of the top defenses in the East. Pita's ball to the back post. Knotted down and in! The breakthrough for Atlanta. Cisse with the assist. And the target man was always going to find a goal. Headed down by Cisse Kovac. Right man, right place, right time. That is now 3 straight matches with a goal for Ariv Kovac. And 7 total over his last 3 matches. Had 5 versus Huntsville, as mentioned, 1 versus Philadelphia, and now 1 versus Chicago. And Atlanta is in front by a goal. Nine goals on the season now for Ariv Kovac. He's a man in pristine form. I asked Coach Silva about him and why he thinks he's been able to score at such a high clip. And he said he's always been a big body, always good in the air, but his work rate defensively has really picked up this season. And that has helped put him in position to score more goals. And the ball has energy, and it tends to find players playing at a high level. Napo is brought down. That'll be a free kick for Chicago. There is a yellow card.
A yellow card has been assessed to Atlanta United 2's number 81, Didi Seabrian.
Sees his teammate Didi Seabrian pick up a yellow card. Now Damian Neek. '57th minute. Chicago trying to answer. The goal scored by Ariv Kovac. Chavez, nobody in particular, and a missed opportunity for Chicago. What's not lost on this match right now is the play of James Donaldson. Saved what was a almost one-on-one situation in the first half, and then had 2 saves in the second half already from the early set piece. But now Chicago will have another set piece. This one from straight on. So it is Oscar Pineda and Damian Neek who stand behind this. '59th minute. Neek does not beat the wall. This opens up to Napo. Trip Fleming. And center back Hugo Berg. Chicago will completely reset. Napo's header forward. Cisse there for it. And he puts it into touch for a throw. Chicago will make its first substitution of the match. Tidiane Diawara will come out. And Damian Villanueva comes on for Chicago as we have entered into the 60th minute of action. We'll see how this switches things. Diawara was playing centrally. Dean Bolts has played as a number 9. This is very good. Almost a cross and a shot. Now Clark. It was very clever from Chicago. Couldn't get a shot on goal after the throw was behind. Almost caught Atlanta napping. Sinanu. Now complete clearance. Kovac trying to split the gap. Dunbar puts his body on the line. And now this ball goes back to Nemo Jr. So Charles Nagel able to handle the danger. Atlanta keeping pressure on, however. There's a foul and a free kick coming for Chicago. This portion of the match is sponsored by Emory Healthcare. '62nd minute. Atlanta takes the lead in this second half thanks to Arif Kovac. His 9th goal of the season. This was flicked along, but only as far as Mohamed Cisse. He is completely tripped up by Mateo Clark. It'll be a free kick around the center circle as the substitution for Atlanta.
Let's go, Dabo!
Didier Cyprian will come off. Ademola Brown will come on. Ademola Brown is on for Atlanta. Ball into Cameron Dunbar. He shoved from behind. Referee didn't see it, however. So Hugo Berg lifts this ball forward. This could be trouble for Atlanta. Atlanta United does get numbers behind the ball. Now, as the five-stripe try to play out of the back, Dunbar quickly into Santiago Pita. Pita searching for Kovac. Emo Jr. just a step quick enough to get there. And you see Kovac and both he and Emo Jr. needing an extra moment as time comes to a halt here in the 64th minute, and both receiving some treatment. Both of these teams well rested coming into today. Both had their last match on May 23rd, 2 weekends ago. Atlanta with a chance to move up in the Eastern Conference standings and put themselves in good position. Win today puts them in the top 4. They would stay there through the weekend. Play resumes. Kovac the target again. That'll be a foul on Demola Brown. Poe commits a foul on the other end. So Matthew Sinanu and Mohamed Cisse hovering around the referee, just trying to get an understanding. Intensity going to rise as this match wears on. And these are important points in the middle portion of the season. Two of the most stout defensive teams in the league. Coming into today, they had both given up the same amount of goals, 15 apiece. Obviously, Atlanta has scored, so now that number's up to 16 for Chicago. They're still just 4th in the Eastern Conference in regards to goals given up. Only New England and Philadelphia, and now Atlanta have given up less goals. Napo does his best to keep this in play. Now Cisse goes back to his goalkeeper, Donaldson. Just over the head of Kovac from Cisse. Emo Jr. slipping. Just gets it away. Oh, loose touch. lines up with Donaldson. Coach Silva has done such a great job just taking over this season. And late last season when he became the interim, getting his team very close to making the playoffs, and they look like a formidable force here this season. Santiago Pita in possession. Early ball towards Arif Kovac. He tracks it down quickly into Cameron Dunbar, who lets it run. And the attack fizzles out for the moment. Brown. Low. Brown commits the foul. You hear how the fans feel about it. Strong contingent has made the drive here to support Atlanta United. It's about an hour and a half from downtown. When your team is playing well, you will make the trip, make the trek to support. Another foul, this one a shove from the back by Santiago Pita. Space opening up for Trip Fleming. Now Mateo Clark. Maybe something on here for Chicago. Clark shooting! Could not bend it in. Donaldson obviously was beat, but could not tuck it into that back post. This was better from Chicago, especially here in the second half where they have not had possession. This portion of the broadcast is sponsored by Gallagher. Brody Williams has now come on for Mateo Clark. That was Clark's last action in the match. Long header, and now Cisse boosts this into the air. Davlo tracking it. Wonderfully done here. Long run, slipped in. Nobody here. Good slide, however, by Chavez. Now Napo into the area, draws it back. Cisse was there for coverage. Chavez, Napo. And that will be Atlanta, who will have possession now after the foul by Napo. Chicago back in possession. Fire looking for the equalizer. Ball is lost. In the 74th minute, it was Arif Kovac who scored early in this second half to give Atlanta the lead. His third straight match with a goal. No whistle, so play will continue. Everyone had stopped, just expecting the foul to come. Nagel, Chavez, Nepo. Another opportunity brewing for the Fire. Headed high and out of play by Sinanu. Chicago has grown into the second half despite conceding. This team has a lot of fight.
Corner kick, Chicago Fire FC 2.
Quarter of an hour remains. This ball comes in. Once again, Sinanu's there. Good control, but the shot was offline by Damian Villanueva. Atlanta will now make a substitution. They'll take out one target and put in another. Liam Butts, the former New England Revolution man, will come on for the man with the match winner up to this point, and Arif Kovac. So a like-for-like substitution, and Atlanta will have the same type of mentality, especially here late. Fresh legs for Butts at the top of the press, as well as a big target to hold up things. And also can score a fair share of goals himself, double-digit goals over his time in New England. This is Nepo with some green grass to work into. There's a foul. Chicago in the run of play, outside of maybe one or two chances, just hasn't been able to create. Their best opportunities have come on set pieces, and that's where James Donaldson made two saves early in this second half. And then moments later, it was Atlanta that scored on a set piece of their own. And Atlanta has just been managing this lead. It's going to be a yellow card.
A yellow card has been issued to Chicago Fire FC2's number 58, Brody Williams.
So Brody Williams picks up the yellow card. DeBlante fires this over the top. Dunbar first to it. Now this is Butts, his first touches. Substitute Brown. Jardines. Davlo. Butts. Nobody there. And Bolch trying to make the run. Poe was there as well. Just no connection for Chicago in these direct balls. Kita waiting for a run of Butts or Dunbar. Also possession, the most important thing right now as they try to race to the finish line. Chicago has other ideas. This is Brody Williams. Dumps it over the top. Bolts! Offside is the decision. Or check that. It's just a goal kick. Bolts just wide of the mark.
Substitution for Atlanta United entering the game, number 41, Toto Majub.
So Toto Majub will come on for Cameron Dunbar. But another big-time chance for Chicago that goes begging. This portion of the match is sponsored by Adidas. Ten minutes remain. How many chances will Chicago get? That was a very good one. Dean Bolts, your striker, with a chance. But Donaldson once again made it difficult, but Bolts would believe in himself to do better there. Chavez, Nagel. Now Hugo Berg sending a teammate forward, but it's closed down by Davlo. And now Butts sent the other way. And Butts waiting for reinforcements. That is last off of Chicago. Although the Fire tried to play it in quickly. Chicago still looking for their first win on the road this season. Atlanta looking to win their 7th match overall. It'll be their 3rd win at home in 4 matches. Excellent ball into Butts, but he was offside. Played quickly by Chicago. They know time is of the essence. Once again plays long. Only one option was there in Bolts, and he wasn't able to latch onto it. Donaldson will send it the other way himself and give possession right back to Chicago. Atlanta trusting their defending now. Williams shrugs off a pass. Almost a gorgeous through ball. But Matthew Sinanu was privy to it. And with this foul, time will tick. Moises DeBlante taking his time to get to his feet. Sinanu has been great today as well, along with Mohamed Cisse, the center back pairing. Yellow card shown.
A yellow card has been issued to Chicago Fire FC to number 76, Milan Napo.
Milan Napo picking up the yellow card there. As we near 5 minutes remaining, plus added time. Expect a little more added time in the second half than we did in the first. The clock is ticking for Chicago. They want to find anything on the road and avoid their third road loss of the season. Or check that fourth road loss of the season. Atlanta trying to cement all 3 points now. Pita still with it, and Santiago Pita stopped. And a clearance by Emiliano Chavez. Daniel Chica goes to ground, wins possession back for Atlanta. He's grabbing at his leg. And the clock will stop for Chica. So Daniel Chica experiencing a cramp. As we take a look at this last save by Nemo Jr. Pita going back across the face. And Nemo Jr. went down for it. And it was Chavez who completed the clearance because Liam Butts was right there ready to tap it in for the deciding goal, which would have all but secured all 3 points for Atlanta. But the jury is still out now. Chicago prepares to make a substitution. Daniel Chica is back up, which is a great sight. Sub not coming just yet for Chicago. We'll get the drop ball for Atlanta first. Atlanta will look to kill the rest of the game off and secure a home victory. Donaldson delivers a ball over the top. Liam Butts is on it. Nagel, Napo, excellent ball back to Napo from Villanueva. What an attack this is as Bolts could not complete that final pass as he was looking for Brody Williams coming down the left side. Bolts is back up. This is just excellent transitional play from Chicago. First Nagel, and the one-touch passing is delicious here as Napo continued his run and received it from Villanueva. And you see all by his lonesome is Williams coming down that left channel. Chicago's best opportunity of this half was from a corner. Now needing a goal, they have a corner into the 89th minute. Ball comes in with pace, flicked along. Still with Chicago. Williams trying to receive it back from Berg. Fire still have it. 89th minute of action. Atlanta in front by a goal. Good control from Villanueva. That's a shot, and it's just wide. Was looking to curl it in, and the ball did not bend as Villanueva had hoped. And now Dean Bolts will come off for Christopher Morales. Substitution happening right now as we march toward the 90th minute. Atlanta can sense it. Almost to the finish line. A lot of pushing and shoving there as Demola Brown is the guilty party. So Demola Brown ends up on the pitch. It's just a conversation as of right now between Heat and Promise Adebayo Ige. Nagel still with it. Fourth official announcing a minimum of 4 minutes of added time. Napo ushers this along. Cross comes in quickly. Big collision behind the play. And will this be a free kick? Yes, it will. So although Donaldson has possession, it will be a free kick for Chicago. Time dwindling now for the Fire. We're in second half stoppage time. And Chicago needs a goal. Villanueva's ball comes in, headed out for a Chicago corner. Neek already over by the corner flag. As this ball came in right at the top of the 6-yard box. Ball comes in towards the near post, doesn't beat the first man. Pita trying to win possession. Working hard, Doblo can't control. Now Doblo is in the clear. Doblo goes for goal. Atlanta will earn all 3 points at home as Enzo Doblo shuts the door. Deserved it. Doblo worked hard to win possession. And as he worked into the area, had to decide what he wanted to do and just smashed it into the back of the net.
Goal scorer number 67, Enzo.
Another opportunity now for Atlanta. Just some icing on the cake. And Atlanta United now has 3. back-to-back. And Santiago Pita joins the scoring.
Goal scored by number 40, Santiago Pita.
Nobody there. And so Pita pursuing and finds the back of the net. And so this quickly gets out of hand for Chicago. Had to feel that the result was already in the hands of Atlanta, but that leaves no doubt. And Atlanta United scoring 3 goals versus Chicago for the second straight time. This match was much closer than the scoreline will finish. It was a strong performance from Chicago, especially in the first half. And then in the second half, they had their opportunities. Early corner, didn't take advantage. It was Atlanta that finished off a set piece and scored. Arif Kovac continues his great form. Then Enzo Davolo scoring. Santiago Pita finishing things off. And there is the final whistle. Atlanta United 3, Chicago Fire 0, your final. And Atlanta now 3 wins at home in 4 matches at home. They move up in the Eastern Conference into the top 4. Now it's time for the man of the match, presented by Adidas. Plenty of goals to choose from. But the first goal, the game-winning goal, the important goal. And Arif Kovac wins man of the match. Nice little assist from Mohamed Cisse. And Kovac continues to be piping hot in this regular season. Once again, the final is Atlanta United 3, Chicago Fire 0. You can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at onefootball.com and on MLSNextPro.com with my amazing OneFootball crew. My name is James Tadnot saying so long from the Peach State. Have a blessed evening and get ready for that World Cup. Enjoy it, folks.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.